About that, I so agree with you on that. Like I said, I don't support Donald Trump, but I personally believe in this. We need to support our interest, and school choice is in our interest in the black community because, like you stated, yes, they want to send us to the lowest performing schools. Most of the teachers are either Caucasian, possibly female, and they don't care about our kids in the way we should. I'm not saying they don't care to educate. Let me make sure not to say that.
But you listen, brother. We spend so much time trying to pussyfoot around this thing, trying to tap dance around it. But it is what it is. The results are the results. I mean, they are what they are. You look and you see that among the top performing schools in the state of Texas, almost 70% of them are schools of choice. What are we talking about here? Why are we going to sit here and act like it isn't what it is? The problem that we're faced with is that we're trying to. I recently went to Cuba, and my family and we took students. So our students, my kids go to my school, my sons go to my schools. So obviously, when my school goes somewhere, my kids are part of it. Whatever. But so many people talked about how much ingenuity they have with regards to having these old cars running. And my reaction to that was, why don't y'all fix the system that only lets you buy old cars in the first place? That's the problem. You should not be up underneath a car that's 70 years old trying to make that joint run every day. We have a school system that was founded 300 plus years ago. 300, almost 400 years ago. And we keep trying to prop this thing up by saying, well, let's just pour more money into it. That's what they're doing down in Cuba. They pour more money into these cars. And yeah, they run. But if you've ever driven an old car and you've driven a new car, they ain't the same. Now, it's nice to have a little classic car in the garage. You take out with your wife. You want to go somewhere and do that's fun. I got one of those. Mm-hmm. But for every day, nah, give me something that's newer. Give me something that's got power steering in it, disc brakes, fuel injection, and air conditioning. Give me that. We have a school system that's horse and buggy. Literally, the technology of the day when the schools that our children currently attend were started, this very model, horse and buggy, pot-belly stoves were heating our homes. This is what our life looked like. Most people lived on farms or got their food from some way, their income somewhere from an agrarian experience. Less than 1% of America's population currently earn the lion's share of their income from an agrarian experience. So why are we still running on a horse and buggy agrarian schedule? Why? Because of jobs. Because when you and I take our kids and encourage other kids to leave failed schools, they begin to shut those schools down. That becomes a problem because the teachers associations or the teachers unions start to lose dues. When they lose dues, they lose juice. When they lose juice, they can't make politicians support what they want. Now, why the national chapter of the NAACP is caught up in this foolishness is beyond me, because they're the ones who led the fight against busing kids to schools that were underperforming in the first place, that were neighborhood schools, forcing kids into failed schools in the first place. So why they've shifted their commitment is beyond me, but I can say this, on the local level, here in Connecticut, our NAACP has had our back from day one. It still has our back. It's just the nationals that have lost their minds. So we don't need to tiptoe around this. We need to call a spade because our kids are dying as a result of this foolishness.
If you want to see the full interview with myself and Dr. Steve Perry and wonder why did the exchange come about that you just saw, join us on Patreon for a minimum of $2 or $5 per month. Now, Patreon definitely supports the show, and we also put the full interviews up first on Patreon way before we decide to release these interviews publicly. And if you haven't, make sure you pick up one of the Racist Tears mugs that we have for sale, because I see a lot of trolls are showing up, and I'm just only responding to the trolls now that buy your mug. That's all we need to do. Collect your tears there. It supports the show for a great cause to help us bring more interviews and great people to the platform.